Hello everyone, this is Jeff of TAOFLEDERMAUS. Most people familiar with firearms would recognize this iconic rifle as a Barrett. Some may even recognize it as a Barrett M99. And most people would say it's chambered in 50 BMG. But you're wrong. That's because we're filming in the state of confusion, the state of chaos, yes, the state of California. In 2004, Arnold Schwarzenegger signed a bill banning 50 caliber rifles. Now, even though these rifles were never used in any sort of crime, Arnold, being just a little paranoid, thought these rifles would be used in various crimes such as shooting down airliners. I kid you not. Because these rifles are so expensive, there were never very many of these in the state to begin with. It's almost as crazy as banning not just Ferraris, but just red Ferraris, because they might be used to ram into passenger trains and derail them. And I'm pretty sure there's more red Ferraris in the state than there were ever 50 BMG rifles. And of course, this silly scenario has a better chance of being pulled off than shooting down an airliner with a 50. Well, let's fast forward all the way to 2005. Yeah, just 1 year later. An entirely new cartridge is introduced called the 416 Barrett, sometimes called the Schwartz 16. Ironically, the 416 has even longer range and accuracy than the 50 BMG. But it's not 50 caliber, so it's California legal. The 416 Barrett cartridge is a wildcat. Instead of coming up with an entirely new case, they used existing 50 BMG brass and necked it down to 416 specs. Now, the 416 bullet is considerably lighter and smaller than the 50 BMG, but leaves the barrel at a higher velocity. Now remember that the 50 BMG design is over 100 years old. It was invented right after World War I, in fact. It is a good design, and it has withstood the test of time. Even though the cartridge was designed for machine guns, it works really well for long-range rifle shooting. The 50 BMG bullet will remain supersonic almost to 1 mile, and has an effective range, the ability to hit the same target over and over again, of around 2,000 yards. But the 416, despite being smaller and lighter than the 50 BMG, remains supersonic out to 1.2 miles and has an effective range of over 2,500 yards.
Hey there, my name's Jeff. I'm a guest here at TAOFLEDERMAUS, and we have a Barrett 416 rifle right here. And this is, some people may not have heard of this particular cartridge. It's not in the gaming industry or whatnot. You'll hear more about the 50 calibers, 50 BMGs and stuff, but this is a newer cartridge that Barrett makes. It's a 416 caliber, solid brass bullet. It's used for target shooting, long range shooting, and competition shooting and stuff. This gun is a Barrett Model 99. The gun weighs about 25 pounds. It's a single shot. So this scope is just a temporary scope. I bought the rifle and I took the scope off of another rifle, and a new scope is in the works. So this one works for now until we start shooting long range, and then we'll put some other high-tech scope on there, some more power.
Woo! I felt that one in my rib cage.
Yeah, I felt it right back here, and that's straight behind you. Jeez.
Now, this is a weird one. We all thought he missed the target, but he actually hit it almost in the center. Now, instead of the watermelon blowing into pieces like we expected, the bullet just passed right through the watermelon, doing very little damage. It did blow out a little bit in the back, though. Maybe you have a theory of why this happened.
100 yards at an AR-500 steel plate.
This AR-500 plate is designed to stop non-armor piercing rounds up to 308. Let's see if it'll stop the solid brass 416 round.
Oh,
Who would have guessed that those environmentally friendly, non-lead bullets would be able to pass through armor like butter. The bullet still had a tremendous amount of energy after passing through the steel and vaporized the 2-liter bottle of soda behind it.
Just put a hole in it. It put it even left brass behind. Go put your fingers through there. Wiggle it like a little worm. On the backside. I tell you, every time we film, F-18s fly over.
OG patented finger wiggle. Colt. There you go.
Yeah, boy. Give it the old wiggle. You gotta wiggle it. There you go.
That's right.
Okay, let's see if cans of beans are bulletproof.
Oh, that was sweet.
I'll tell you what, Danny was absolutely thrilled to have the opportunity to shoot this rifle, and for never shooting it before, he did very well. Now I want to show you something really neat and totally unexpected.
Ears in, everybody. Greg's drone is beeping in. Is it ready?
Yeah, but it's coming back home pretty quick because of low battery. So
Okay, we're ready, Danny.
Yep.
Jeff, you ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go.
Wow.
Boom, boom, boom.
Wow, did you see the explosion? I'm glad I got that just at the last minute.
Now this is definitely a sign. A sign to shoot more stuff.
Good shot. Good shot.
It's crazy. You can feel that brake working.
Yeah.
There's like no recoil.
There's no recoil.
A bullet weighing less than 1 ounce, shot from a rifle that weighs 25 pounds, with that giant muzzle brake, means almost no recoil from this rifle. Greg said it was like shooting a .223.
Okay. Woo! And it's like $2,000 worth of glass there. Look at it. If Greg didn't find it in a dumpster.
No.
Yeah, it's rated for 44 Magnum, so I think that's a little too much for it. Now we're going to do some scientifical stuff. We want to show you just how much energy is coming out of that massive muzzle brake. It looks like the muzzle brake was made in like junior high metal shop or something, but it's, look at the size of that. It's huge.
Looks like it belongs on the back of a friggin'
Oh,
drag racer.
Greg!
That
Wah,
was-
wah.
Here we go.
Oh,
Lord. I was standing in the wrong.
oh.
In this high-speed camera shot, we can see just how much pressure and energy is coming out of that muzzle brake. And we can also see how little recoil is actually hitting Danny's shoulder. It's a pretty light shooting rifle. Well, it's been 15 years since Schwarzenegger banned the 50 cal in California, and it took almost no time at all for a better replacement to come along. Politicians want to ban and blame objects instead of the acts of people. They use terms like gun control and gun violence, and they never talk about increasing the penalties for using guns in a crime. Everyone would be on board with that, except for criminals, of course. Hey, I want to thank Jeff and his son Colt, also Danny and Greg, for helping out on this project. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching.